Hello, good day. My name is David Ezekiel and I'm a data analyst. Today I'm going to be walking you through sentiment analysis. What is sentiment analysis, also known as opinion mining, and how can you analyze text data using Power BI? And I'm going to be walking through from the very foundation just to show you what this is and how you can use simple analytics tool like Power BI to analyze some text data and see some of the features that are therein. So I'm just going to get right into it. What are we going to be looking at today? We're going to be looking at sentiment analysis. Now, one of the very foundational definition of sentiment analysis. We'll be looking at application of sentiment analysis, how sentiment analysis works. We'll also look at Azure Cognitive Services and sentiment analysis on Power BI. There's a feature on Power BI you can use to analyze your data, your text data. And I'm going to be showing you a dashboard that I built for a hotel review, and use it just like a walkthrough. What are the things I considered and how was I able to do that on Power BI? All right. So we'll get right in. What is sentiment analysis? Sentiment analysis is the use of natural language processing, text analysis, computational linguistics, and biometrics to systematically identify the sentiment in data that is often textual. In sentiment analysis, textual data is provided as an input to a classifier that applies various natural language processing or machine learning tools to classify the text as positive, negative, or neutral. And so these are the three areas. You're able to see the text. If the text is speaking to positivity based on the review, is it negative, or is it just neutral, neither here nor there? And so these are the things you do, and this is what sentiment analysis looks like. So what are the applications of sentiment analysis? So sentiment analysis tools can handle various languages, detect sarcasm, and understand common acronyms and chat slang such as LOL, which is laugh out loud, OMG, oh my god, etc. So sentiment analysis finds application in different fields. One of the applications is not limited to this. You can also see more application beyond this. But one core application is on customer feedback. Companies, organizations are able to use sentiment analysis to analyze the feedback that they get from customers. Another one is on brand reputation. On brand reputation, another application of sentiment analysis is that of monitoring a brand's reputation. Businesses can track their brand's reputation over time and then analyze to find the key influencers. Once they have the data about the brand reputation and the key influencers, they can use it to manage the reputation and consolidate or even improve it to bring about more informed decision making. Another way is on online ads. Organizations have ads online and they get reviews from these ads. They get comments, they get feedback, they get different kinds of reviews, and they can use sentiment analysis to really analyze this kind of feedback that they get to know where they are in terms of positivity score, negativity score, and neutrality, as the case may be. I think the last is on social media. So internet and social media are the cornerstone of this age of information. So with social media, you're able to get an accurate report of what is happening within your own business. Okay, so how sentiment analysis work? The choice of the method depends on the business requirement, the data we have, and how accurate we want the sentiment analyzer to be. So the first is those that know some things around machine learning is what we call the rule-based. This is how sentiment analysis works. So traditionally, the way sentiment analysis was being used was to use what you call the rule-based system. And what is the rule-based system? It's very simple. It's the approach includes techniques like lexicons, list of words, theming, tokenization, and parsing. You are able to just place certain rules to different kinds of text and say when this happens, this should be the score of this should be the score of the other one. It just use rules. But as we advance, we get into the point where we use machine learning. And machine learning becomes, instead of setting rules for this data, you allow this data to learn the patterns themselves. The data is able to learn the pattern of text and is able to give a more informed decision. So the choice of the method actually depends on the business requirement, the data we have, and how accurate we want the sentiment analyzer to be. So these are two ways and how sentiment analysis works. It can work with rule-based, it can also work with machine learning. So in Azure, you are able to use the Azure Cognitive Service, analyze opinions and features offered by Azure services for language, a collection of machine learning and AI algorithms in the cloud for developing intelligent applications that involve written language. So in Azure, you're able to use these to go about cognitive analytics. Things that have to do with text and messages and all of this, you can use Azure Cognitive Service to be able to do this. And this is actually what powers the Power BI text analyzer. So in Power BI, you have the text analyzer icon. You can just click on the icon. With text analyzer and vision in Power BI, you can apply different algorithms from Azure Cognitive Services to reach your data in Power Query. So when you click on the text analyzer, you have various options. Mind you, this only happens, is possible if you have a pro account. It's not possible on a free account. So just for you to know that you have to detect language. You're able to detect the very language if that's what you want to do with the cognitive service. You could also extract key phrases from a list of text. You just extract the key phrase. What is this entire text speaking to? And you can also score your sentiment. So is it low in terms of positivity? Is it high in terms of negativity? You're just able to score the sentiment, and after scoring the sentiment, you can now apply one or two of your segmentation and say, within this range to the other range, this is positive. Within this range to the other range, this is negative. And one key thing is how you can actually apply this. So with Power BI, you're able to analyze. So this is a typical case study that I did, hotel review analytics. I was able to look at this fictional organization to be able to provide more insight for them in terms of what they can do and how they can leverage the Power BI feature of text analyzer to be able to do sentiment analysis. And in my next video, I'm going to be having a breakdown of how I was able to do this video line by line step, what I did, what are the things I considered, how I was able to clean the data, how I was able to get the data in, how I was able to apply the text analytics into it. But what I'm just going to be doing here is just to walk you through what the dashboard looks like. So here I have my dashboard, and you can see this is just what I use as my heading really. But one thing you see here is the review rating. So for I have a field for review rating for each of the feedback that they got a rating, and after the rating they got some feedback which is text. So I have a slicer that will look at the rating. If you click on one, of course, anybody that is able to score the organization 1 is going to have a very, very negative sentiment, and it's just what it's going to be. So you see that the sentiment is actually low, 11%, which is actually to the negative. And when you come to 5, anyone that is able to give a 5 is more likely to have positive rating and positive review. And you can also, I have a slicer for the kind of reviews. Just going to check this. I have a slicer also for the month, and I have a slicer for city. So this is gives you the rated categories. So these are all the categories. You have utilities, you have artists, art and entertainment, you have wholesale trade, you have healthcare and social. So this all lumps up into these, and I actually reduced my data to the barest minimum. knowing that for your text analytics in Power BI, the maximum rows you can have is just 1,000. So whatever you do, you need to have that in mind to know that you can't analyze more than 1,000 rows in what you do. So these are the number of reviews that are actually considered just 72 rows. I wanted to be fast. I just wanted to get onto this and just to build something. Just to get my hand dirty, really. And I can see the reviews by title. You can see great, standing out, nice, service, best, as the case may be. So they just give you based on the region what is the negative and positive based on the region, and this gives you based on sentiment type. So you have reading, you have so I'm able to look at my sentiment type and the city for each of the sentiment type, whether negative or positive. What is the reviews? What is the count of the reviews? Here you have 5 for negative and 17 for positive for this particular city. And just to give more information, so like a breakdown. I'm also going to explain this in the next video. I was able to do this is with page navigation. I just click on this while holding my control key, and it takes me to the next page which I've called breakdown. You can see the top information remains the same. Most of what I changed was the trend. I added a trend. You're able to see what the trend is like, the increase and where we dropped, and you can ask more questions to your data. And you have a pie chart here that is able to help us look at the overall negative versus the overall positive. So here you are able to see more breakdown in terms of the actual reviews. So you look at the primary. So when you come here, you maybe positive, you only see positive reviews. So I have an arrow that shows you whether it's going down or it's coming up, positive or negative, and so these are what you can actually play with. You just try one or two and you see the way this thing works. This gives rich information, more advanced decision making process for organizations to be able to apply the Azure Cognitive Service using Power BI in analyzing text. I know you found the video useful. Please let me know what your feedback is in this app. So, like I said, in my next video, I'm going to do a breakdown of how I was able to build this dashboard and to help you to also get started on it. Thank you very much. See you later.